Good morning and good happy new clan fight challenge for Narukami, as finally Best Boy Henry is back once again with arguably the best wave of a Vanquisher support after the first. I think the first might still be the best because that kind of put the whole clan on the map, I think, in the G era. But today we're going to take a look at, of course, the cards as well as hopefully, an animation, maybe, hopefully, from Henry. I technically have the skin myself too, but I don't have the card, but maybe I can exchange for like one copy just to like try to ride it or something. That might be kind of funny. But let's take a look at the cards for Narukami today. I'm going to be putting out a bit more Zero content this month than usual because I'm more or less done with like wave 1/2, I guess. Nubatama, not exactly complete, but like mostly complete. And I still have a couple things to do from like last set and the set before, aka Night Rose, and of course some clan events here and there too. So anyway, let's take a look at the cards. We have quite a bit of stuff. There's Eradicator support in this set too, and one of the best generic attacking rear guards in the game in my opinion, which is the new Dragonic Descendant, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But first, let's take a look at the GR, which is Dragonic Vanquisher V Buster. So this guy's the GR, and he says once per turn Soul Blast 1 and G Persona Blast. Sadly, he always G Persona Blasted, and randomly retire one of your opponent's rear guards, protecting the back row, and then you randomly bind 2 cards from your opponent's drop zone. And then if you have more rear guards than your opponent, for that turn 3 of your units get plus 3k power. So actually makes your units hit for good numbers, and like this doesn't CB to basically like get 2 cards in bind, it gets you power, it gets a removal, so technically you get to bind the front row from striding, and then you also bind the back row with this. So it's honestly pretty good just because it gets to do quite a lot for like being a first stridable card. And then if you second stride it or more, you have a GB3 that is Thunderstrike 7, your front row all gets plus 5k, which is pretty good. I think the other Vanquisher still gives you more power once you reach GB3, but then the other skill is GB3, Thunderstrike 7, when he attacks you draw 1, get a crit and a drive. So if you want to pressure with a crit, which this deck was not able to do before, that's actually very good. So for that reason, I think I quite like this card. The extra drive also definitely helps. So I think you definitely want to, obviously, to use the card, but I think it's honestly potentially a 4 of, maybe? I don't know. It's like, for power, you kind of want to go into the previous Vanquisher stride a little bit more, but that crit is definitely pretty nice, so I think you might actually see yourself like second striding this sometimes as well. So I'm going to try to go for 4 just because I really love this deck. Then we have some Eradicator support. We have the Linchu. He's the old Eradicator starter, for those of you that don't realize. And he says, once per turn, if you harness an Eradicator, you can GB almost 1 and G Persona Blast, and then put a Eradicator rearguard to your soul, and then for every face-up card in your G zone, you choose 2 of your opponent's rearguards randomly, prioritizing the back row, and retire them. And then, if your opponent doesn't have any rearguards, you draw 1. This is technically like a late game field wipe. That's actually pretty good. Obviously needs a Eradicator heart, but in something like Golem Buster, this might not be too bad actually. And then Dragonic Descendant Sigma, the Sigma male of the Vanguard universe, is here. The art is super fantastic. This is like the coolest looking Dragonic Descendant in my opinion, and the skill is really impressive. So GB1 rearguard circle once per turn. When your Vanguard's attack ends, so like when your Vanguard finishes battling, if the attack did not hit, you can almost discard 1, draw 2, and stand this guy. You can do 5 attacks in Narukami. Like, that's the crazy part about this guy, is that you buff him up like crazy with your Vanquisher strides, and he draws 2 now. Like, he did not draw in the TCG. You literally just had to discard 1 for this cost to restand the rear, and that you were happy to do that because it's like, well, I mean, I'm discarding to be able to do something crazy, right? So this card is insane in Eradicators, but it's insane, period. It doesn't require Eradicator Vanguard. This is the backup grade 3 in Vanquisher. Like, you're going to be running 4 of the new Vanquisher, 4 of this, 1 of the old one, I think, because this card is that good. Like, it's just amazing. We haven't even read the second skill yet. Second skill being, when you stride a Dragonic Descendant, what was Z again? It's the Descendant Stride. You can almost 1 for that turn, give the Vanguard plus 10k power, and the following skill. When it stands, you draw 1 and get a drive. And then when it plays on Vanguard, you'll get plus 3k. So that's a buff that the card got. But honestly, you don't even need to use it in its own deck. You just use it for the first skill in Vanquisher. Like, it's such an insane card. And then we have Vanquisher Sparking, the new grade 3, and this is a very good one at that. Vanguard Circle, Thunderstrike 4, the start of your ride phase, so basically starting from turn 4 onwards, you can either Soul Charge 1 or Counter Charge 1. And then you randomly bind a card from your opponent's drop zone. So this basically is a counter charge every single turn, or soul charge if you need it, but that's already really, really good. And when you stride, you can almost one soul blast one, and then choose an opponent's front or rear guard, retire it, and bind it. And then if you strode into a card with a Thunderstrike ability, you can then randomly bind one card from your opponent's drop zone. So it's literally a better version of the original Vanquisher, because this pops the front row as it used to, and on top of that, they can get a second pop if you stride a Thunderstrike card, which for the most part, that is what you're going into. Like, all the Vanquisher strides do that, so 4 of, like, goes without saying, you're gonna need 4 of this, 4 of this. I think for Linshu, because it does PG Persona Blast, like, you should probably pick up, I'd say 4, yeah, you can stride it twice if you want to play Eradicators. Honestly, 4 of this too, like, this is gonna be an expensive clan event. Then we have Anastasia, the best Narukami PG ever created. Like, this card was run in premium in the TCG for years after being, like, done with G. So, it's a PG, and in hand, Thunderstrike 4, when you PG with this, if you have another copy of her in your drop zone, you draw 1. It's basically a perfect card that just draws you cards, because you actually countercharge quite a lot in this deck, so you kind of didn't need countercharging PGs, so you just ran this because you just drew more cards. Like, I don't know if it'll be as good in Zero, because deck out is more of an issue in this game, but hopefully it is still going to be as useful. Like, I'm saying hopefully because I'm not really sure how, like, deck counts will be looking, but it is a good card, so if it is as good, then again, 4 of, like, we have 4 triples and they're all 4 ofs. Like, that's slightly concerning, but that's just how good this wave of Narukami was. Then we have Grizel. Oh my god, one of my favorite Narukami cards ever. Grizel is cute, and she says, when she would be chosen by your opponent's card effects, you randomly bind an opponent's card from drop. So basically, if they try to retire her, she goes like, nope, I'm gonna bind that shit anyway. So that's obviously really good, because she, like, accelerates bind, not on GB1 by the way, and then Thunderstrike 5, she gets plus 9k, so she's an 18k attacker on her own, which with, like, any amount of buffing, she hits magic numbers. And then Thunderstrike 5, once per turn, if your Vanguard is a Vanquisher, count +1, and for that turn, gain the following ability. When she attacks the opponent's Vanguard, she also attacks one of the opponent's rear guards in the same battle. So she does a lot. She's a strong attacker. She pops your opponent's rears that have, like, resist and stuff that you can now attack into, and she basically doesn't have resist, but she punishes your opponent for doing things to her. So she claps back, which I really like. So Grizel is a 4 of. Grizel is again a 4 of. Then we have Helena. GB1, Thunderstrike 3, when placed, if your Vanguard is a Vanquisher, count +1, draw 1 and get +2k. I feel like this card was run back in the day because it's literally CB1, 11k attacker, and a draw. Like, you still want to run Chatura, I think. I don't really know. Like, Chatura is a bit of a problematic card because it can't attack rears. So it's like, you could run this instead, but then you lose out on, like, the drop binding. So I'll see. I think, just in case, it would pick up 4 as well. We're still not done. We have Smash, Boxer, Dragon, GB1, Thunderstrike 3. At the end of the battle, it boosted. If your Vanguard is a Vanquisher, you put it to Soul, draw 1, countercharge 1. 4 of. Again, it's a 4 of. It's really, really good. It's a countercharger and a soul provider and a draw card. Like, if anything, decking out might be an issue in this deck. Like, that's honestly the one thing that I'm starting to come to from just reading everything. Then, Castor. This is a stride fodder for Eradicator, so when you would stride, if your Vanguard is a Eradicator, it gets grade +2 in hand, and then drop zone when it's paid for as the cost for striding. You count +1, look at top 7, and find a grade 3 or greater Eradicator and add it to your hand. So this finds you Sigmas, which is pretty good because Sigma is a good card. If you're playing Eradicators, 4 of. Again, no questions there. Alright, going into the rares. Good. Literally everything in the foils is 4 of. It's crazy. So we have Electro Butcher Dragon. When placed on Vanguard, count +1, and then randomly... is it random? No, you choose an opponent's front or rear guard, retire, bind it. It's pretty good. And then GB1 Ritual 3 on... not Ritual 3. Thunderstrike 3 on rear guard circle when attacks the Vanguard gains +3k. Sorry, there's been a lot of lore down ladder recently. This card... isn't, you can actually skip this. You can kind of skip this. Then we have the Chojun. Rear circle when the attack is a Vanguard. If Vanguard is a grade 3 greater Eradicator, count +1, and then randomly retire one of your opponent's rears. It needing to CB1 is kind of bad, so I would say only if you really need to, like, run the Eradicator names, but I feel like there's already enough good Eradicators from, like, back in Limit Break era. Then this thing is Eradicator Dokukakuji. When it attacks the Vanguard, if your Vanguard is Eradicator, get +2k. That's already nice. And when your grade 3 or greater Vanguard attacks at the end of that battle, if the attack did not hit, count +1, and then your Vanguard and this unit get +5k. I never like CB for power, so I think that's not too great either. Dokkasei. That's like, for those of you that play Pokemon and you know, like Viera or like Shoma, one of like the X-World champions, he always like starts with his videos like "Don't be a C," so it's like this kind of sounds like it. Anyway, rear guards are going to place. If you Vanguard as an Eradicator, you can rest this card and then choose 2 of your opponent's rear guards and they lose intercept. That's not bad. That's honestly not too bad. Like, for that to do it for 2 cards, it's pretty good. It's a grade 1, so you don't really mind resting it. So I'd say pick that one up. Then we have the stand trigger, which is literally put it to soul, countercharge 1. You can use this in anything, by the way. It's an Razor or Eradicator, but use it in anything. New Eradicator starter. When she boosts an Eradicator, the attack hits a Vanguard. You can look at the top 3 and find you can find 2 more Eradicators. You put 1 to hand, and then if you did, you retire this card. Oh, so basically you look at the top 3, and if you have 2 more Eradicators in that top 3, you choose an Eradicator from among them, add it to your hand, and then if you did, you retire her, and if you added a grade 3 to hand, then you soul charge 1. Nah, it's fine, I guess. It's a searcher, but it's like very restrictive. But then the best starter, Hard Draw Draco Kid. GB1, you can rest this card and then choose randomly an opponent's card from drop and bind it. And if you did not, you countercharge 1 and give one of your Thunderstrike ability possessing units plus 3k. So you either get extra binds to get your Thunderstrikes up, or you countercharge. Like, it's such a good card already just from that. And then Thunderstrike 4, counterblast 1, put it to soul, and then give a unit plus 3k, and then you randomly retire one of your opponent's rear guards prioritizing the back row, and randomly bind a card from their drop. So like, you can rest it for the first effect and like get the bind / countercharge, and then you can still counterblast 1, put it into the soul to use the second skill. Like, that's how good this card is. It is an amazing starter. Some people used to run 2 or 3 copies of it because of the fact of how good it was. So must have. Like, I'm gonna get it right now because of how good this starter is. It's just incredible. Like, this is such a good card. It's like, it goes without saying that it's a must have. Like, it's such an amazing starter. Anyway, moving forward, we have 2 commons. So this is the Plasmatron Dragon. Thunderstrike 4, once per turn, counterblast 1 for that turn for every card in your opponent's bind zone plus 2k. Big attacker. And GB1 when placed, if your opponent's, you randomly bind a card from your opponent's drop zone. Pretty good, honestly, for common. This was played in the TCG as well, so I think you just craft it, it's a common. And then finally, Thunderstrike 3, you can retire this guy, 2 for that turn, you give, like, the same amount of your units plus 3k equal to the amount of units that have, your opponent has in the bind zone. So, pretty interesting, not that good. And then, of course, we have V-Buster sleeves and Descendant Sigma sleeves. And honestly, the Sigma ones look pretty tight, so let me show you real quick. So there's the V-Buster ones, they look alright. I think they exist in IRL too. The Sigma ones also, I think, exist in IRL, and they look super pretty. And of course, you can get some packs of the most recent set. So it's a good set. It's a really, really good set, honestly. I'm going to pick up some Vanquishers right now, because Sparking is just a crazy, crazy card, and I want to show it off with the right animation myself, if I can show it off on, with Henry himself writing it. So we're going to make it happen no matter what. Actually, just kidding. I have a boost skin for today and I don't want to waste it. So hopefully Henry rides the new Vanquisher. I would really like to show it off. But yeah, boost skins are very important to me this time around. I have 2. I'll show the boost skins after this. Sorry, I know I usually show them earlier. I forgot, so I'll do them after the fight. But basically, from what I remember, it's Shion, Rin, Verno, and Saori. I think it's those 4 in that order. So I think Verno should be tomorrow. So let's go. It's time for the in-club practice game between Gabriel as well as Henry's Vanquisher. So we're going to be going first, which I can rush a little bit, but like drop zone is just going to evaporate. Like, that's just kind of what you can expect when you watch this, because it's just, the starter is so good. It just evaporates your freaking drop zone. It's relentless. So, goes into the Smash Boxer. I like the Smash Boxer. Do I have right animation on? I gotta make sure I do. Pretty sure I do, actually. Yes, I do. Cool. So, we whiff a heal. What else is new? That's typical for my standards. Alright, let's ride the KL. Pew! And then since we're going first, we're gonna push face a little bit. And give some bait to this drop zone, I guess, to get binded. Nice, it added the... Actually, no, I have 4 of the alt-art Gabriels now, so luckily managed to trade away some, which is happy news, happy times, happy days. And then no heals! Sag Burger has been served. Alright. Heal, please go away. I don't want you getting bound. That'd be very cool. Let's see if he rides the... okay, he doesn't. I was expecting him to ride the martial arts. That's the one that can actually bind my front row, but looks like we're just going green eggs and ham here. all over the place, calling out the whole hand. I'm getting a little concerned that he won't stride. Crits me in the head, literally obliterates my skull. I'm bleeding out onto the pavement here. That's crazy. Alright. Well, at least I'm only going to take that 2 damage because I hit defensive, so that's good at least. Whoopsies. Alright, let's go into Gabriel. Sweep. Pretty. Very pretty. I have the latest event skin for Rin too, but sadly it's not a boost skin, which is very sad. Alright, Messiah, give me a heal. Thank you. What a cool god. What a cool god. My stuff's gonna get bound, probably. Actually, it might not stride, so I might as well just push. Sweep. Oh, look. Sweep. Come on. Let's get it. Nothing. Cool. Eat this! Can I hit a stand? No, I can't. Sad. I'm still running the stand build here, by the way. Alright, show me Vanquisher. Please don't misride. Please don't misride. No! I mean, this animation's good too, but I guess I have to wait for the deck and fight. I'll definitely do a deck and fight for this wave of Vanquisher. I feel very motivated to cover it. So you'll definitely get to see it. And as expected, he doesn't... he doesn't have a strike fodder. Sad! That's what happens when you call out your whole hand, bro! Should be doing that. Oh, there it is. If only, dude, you drew it like 1 turn earlier. Oh well, it is what it is. Maybe he'll stride next turn. If we're lucky, he drew into a stride fodder. If we're unlucky, he did not. Let's try. Oh god, I can't wait for the next Gabriel support wave. Which is gonna be like that, and then Ultima once it eventually comes out. God, Ultima's gonna be crazy, dude. Ultima is gonna be so insane for this game of a game with no guarding, dude. It's so crazy. Alright, LTL, do your thing. Heal out the heal. Stand, not really what I want. Stand, not really what I want, but okay. It's fine. Let's call some cards first then. Should have, in retrospect, I should have called stuff first, but alas, el estúpido. My brain, no work. Okay, let's use you first. Soul Blast this. Put this in the damage. Sweep. And then call this out. Behind. Sweep. Heal out. Doop. Well, speaking of healing out, we're gonna heal out extra hard here. Very excellent. And then you can do your effect. Soul Blasting 1. Rescuing 1. And then I guess we're gonna call you out here as well. Sweep. Do I have soul? I don't need soul, right? Boop. Nice. Heal. Check. Cool cards. Don't check cool cards, I guess. Alright. Battle! Battleborg. Let's see it. Nothing. Interesting. Alright, if I hit a stand here, it's gonna be kind of awkward. Don't hit it. Okay, didn't hit it there. I need to hit it here. Hitting it here would be fuego. Alright, come on. Let's get it. Hey, there we go. That's what I want to see. That's what I'm all about. Swing. Kill. Goodbye, Henry. No striding. You will explode now unless you heal, and even if you heal, you're still gonna explode. Alright, well, sadly, no animation. You're gonna have to wait for the deck and fight, but it will be up sooner than later. I hope. It'll probably take me till the very last day of the event to get all the cards, and I'll probably have to gem a little bit to get the 4 GRs, but I think I have quite a bit of Narukami clan material, so I can probably craft a couple of the triples at least to make things a little bit easier. So there you go. There is the action, the gaming, the cards, and now let me show you the boost skins once again just to make sure. I'm pretty sure I already said the right order, just for everyone to know what is what. So as you can see, here we have, as I said, Shion for days 1 and 5, Rin for days 2 and 6, Verno for days 3 and 7, and Saori for days 4 and 8. So kind of weird that it's like not, I don't know, like or something, somebody that he faced. I guess the Saori match was really important to him, so you have his teammates plus like the 2 very important games in his career, I suppose, for Henry. Especially like, oh my god, the animation during the Saori fight was like crazy good. So yeah, those are the boost skins. I think a lot of us probably have the Rin one, and she's been a boost skin twice now, so she's a pretty good investment, and Verno is pretty, so Verno, good, just saying that. So yeah, that's the event. Hope you guys enjoyed this look at the cards, I think it's a very, very strong wave. I know that all I've been really uploading lately for Zero content has been like clan event overviews, because they've been just kind of pooping them out, honestly. Like, they've been going pretty ham on them, so that's kind of why we've been taking a look at them so aggressively. But deck and fights will be resuming. I'll be doing Night Rose next, because I know that just came out in Global. Sadly, I don't have Pale Moon or like anything else in that set built, so you'll have to settle for just Night Rose, but quite a few things from like the other sets that came out recently, so we can look forward to that. Anyway, that is it. Thank you very much for watching, and like the video if you liked it. Leave a comment what you think of the clan event, and of course, if you haven't subscribed already, please do subscribe. But otherwise, that's gonna be it for me today, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.